Fan theories. We've all heard them before, whether it be this kid from Jurassic Park becoming this guy, the Joker being a war veteran, or James Bond being a codename. It's something we've all discussed with our mates after a few too many. The best fan theories fit as many of the facts as is convenient and elicit a startled, excited response. OMG. Mind blown. I'll never see blank the same way again. You know, stuff like that. Nonetheless, be warned, spoilers follow, both of plot and of your childhood innocence. I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, and these are 10 creepy theories that ruin your favourite kids' TV shows. Number 10. Garfield has been dead for a very long time. Back in Halloween 1989, tasked to come up with a seasonal twist for his long-running Garfield newspaper strip, Jim Davis published a terrifying week-long storyline in which the world's favourite tawny tubby Tabby woke up to find himself alone, his once familiar home cold, abandoned and crumbling around him. Garfield realizes that he's alone and that only his stubbornly feline powers of straight-up denial will save him. Suddenly, he's back with his family again, free to hate Mondays and gorge on lasagna for the rest of his life. Or is he? The implication, of course, is that Garfield is dead and has been for some time, a ghost haunting a broken-down house, reliving his time there in a self-perpetuating cycle of undead delusion. Jesus, that was only number 10. Number 9. The Smurfs are white supremacists. If you were a kid in the 80s in the United States, you watched The Smurfs. It was recently described as like kiddie cocaine, and not to be confused with the stuff Jules sells near playgrounds, of course. Anyway, American fans have theorized as to the nature of Smurf society, explored its parallels to communism, debated whether the series depicted socialist propaganda, and whether Smurf stood for socialist men under a red father. The question as to whether the Smurfs were Nazis was a far more sinister twist, however. Proponents of the theory would point out that the show's antagonist, evil wizard Gargamel, was a blatantly offensive Semitic stereotype. For a while, the obvious comparison was to white supremacist faction the KKK, with the Smurfs' pointed white headgear and tribalistic ways. Or, you know, not. Sometimes a show about little blue people is just a show about little blue people. Number 8. The Simpsons are trapped inside a quantum event. The Simpsons is America's longest-running animated series and longest-running sitcom. That's a long time to sustain a, frankly, wonky internal logic, so they stopped trying a good 2 decades ago. Springfield can't be pinned down to any one state or even set a geographical position in the US. And then there's the matter of the passage of time. But who cares if The Simpsons, a cartoon don't forget, makes sense? Fandom, obviously, hence the creation of what's become known as the Simpsons Tesseract hypothesis by anonymous members of the 4chan image board. Please don't hurt me, 4chan. The idea is that Springfield is trapped inside a 4-dimensional hypercube known as a tesseract. Space-time folds around the time, rendering normal physical laws plastic and mutable. It's the so-called Springfield effect, and I'll take anything to distract me from the fact there's been more bad episodes than good. Look, there's even a graph to prove it. Number 7. Peppa Pig is an Orwellian nightmare. Like many kids' cartoons involving anthropomorphic animals, Peppa Pig has been subject to one of the most prevalent lazy pub bollocks theories around. You know the one, where it's all really based in a post-apocalyptic world where the animals have mutated and taken over, aka I saw Planet of the Apes once and didn't really understand it. Jeff Runer of the Houston Press even has a theory about it. The whole idyllic society seems to be built upon the slavery of other animal life to prevent them from reaching the mammal's rarefied position, presided over by the last remnants of humanity too, recast as the new royalty. All of this is terribly upsetting, but somehow not nearly as much as the realization that Peppa and her family resemble nothing so much as pink hairdryers on legs or sets of large, amiable male genitalia. You will never, ever be able to unsee that now. You're welcome. Number 6. Bing is living in an alien science experiment. Bing Bing is a toddler bunny looked after by his live-in carer, Flop. His friends Pando and Sula, a panda bear and an elephant of course, have their own carers, Paget and Amma, as do his cousins, Coco and Charlie. But where in the blue hell are the parents? The town itself has clearly been designed for use by adults. Everything is slightly too big for the children to use successfully, as you'd expect in real life. I mean, the cupboards are too high, chairs and toilets need to be climbed and scrambled onto, but the carers are even smaller than the children, so clearly they're not the ones the town planners et al. Had in mind. The children's carers seem like nothing so much as benevolent extraterrestrial childminders. Bing is clearly a science experiment, a Truman Show-style simulation of a real town where mutant animal children are raised in a deliberately sanitized pastoral environment where their every action and interaction can be monitored and recorded. Let me just get my tinfoil hat. Number 5. In the Night Garden is the fever dream of a dying sailor. Oh, this is an absolute doozy. The insane In the Night Garden has, well, haunted the dreams of children worldwide for over a decade now. Designed to be shown to youngsters around bedtime to teach them the difference between sleeping and waking, each episode follows the same pattern. A child is lying down to sleep as the narrator murmurs a catchy rhyme. We cut to the show's protagonist, Iggle Piggle, a strange, blue-skinned man adrift at sea in his boat at night as he lights a lamp and curls up on his red sail to sleep. The viewpoint shifts to the stars, which blur into blossoming flowers as we enter the Night Garden, a permanently sun-dappled forest filled with strange but friendly creatures. In every episode, Iggle Piggle wanders the Night Garden, still clutching his red sail like it's a security blanket. Often, he'll find Oopsie Daisy, with whom he shares a close friendship. The two will frequently kiss and hold hands. And at the close of each episode, the garden's denizens settle down to sleep, all except for Iggle Piggle. The visitor is still awake. He must follow the path back to his little boat again, where he lies, sleeping under the little red sail. Clearly, In the Night Garden is a narrative governed by dream logic. A sailor becalmed at sea, maybe after a shipwreck left him with only a lifeboat to survive. Iggle Piggle lights the lamp each night to attract ships that may pass while he sleeps, and then sleeps under the sail to protect himself from the elements. Then he dreams of a sunny forest and the lost love he left behind. As time goes on, he grows weaker and weaker from hunger and thirst. But in the Night Garden, he's back on land again, happy and safe. One day, Iggle Piggle will fall asleep along with everyone else in the Night Garden. Then he'll never have to leave again. And if you came up with that theory, I'd suggest it might be time for a trip to the doctors. Cuckoo! Number 4. Topsy and Tim are pod people. Topsy and Tim details the normal, everyday lives of two fraternal twins and the hijinks that they get up to. What are they like, eh? Except they're not twins, are they? Jocelyn McNabb and Joshua Lester are two entirely unrelated children who were somehow cast to play Topsy and Tim, despite the fact that the producers were looking for twins. They are clearly the same person divided into two. Like twins. Just look at them. There is mischief afoot here. Are they pod people? Clones? Dear God, how many of them are there? They are antichrists, aren't they? These are the end times. Tell my mum I love her. Number 3. Sesame Street is the Count's walk-in larder. Right, pretty simple one this. Count Von Count is an undead monster mesmerizing the grown-ups of Sesame Street into becoming his willing thralls and feeding on the unsuspecting innocents that come to the street to play learning games, hang out with Muppets, and meet John Denver. Got it? Good. Number 2. Something Special is a dramatization of psychoanalysis. Evergreen national treasure, just look at his face. Justin Fletcher's long-running, hugely successful BBC show Something Special is a peculiar creation. It follows his children's clown character Mr. Tumble, who lives in a large detached house along with his grandfather, Grandad Tumble, two aunts, Polly and Suki, and supposed peer of the realm, Lord Tumble. all of whom are played by Fletcher, naturally. Examining something special in isolation, you can clearly see that Mr. Tumble and all his assorted relatives in Tumble House are different aspects of Justin Fletcher's own dissociative personality. Tumble House itself represents his giant brain, with the simple but gregarious Mr. Tumble the only alternate persona capable of communicating with Justin, the primary persona, who seems unaware of the existence of the others. The child narrator is Justin's therapist, carefully helping his various personae coexist and get through day-to-day problems, with a view to making him well again. Good luck sleeping tonight after that. Number 1. Wile Coyote is in hell. The Roadrunner Coyote narrative tends to follow the same endearingly simple format. Wile Coyote, our hapless protagonist, is desperate to catch and devour a succulent but speedy bird on a barren, mountainous desertscape, coming up with a succession of balmy, over-elaborate plans, schemes, tricks, and traps. Not the Acme weight. When will he learn? He is consumed with the task, but he never ever succeeds. Instead, as his plans and gadgets go horribly wrong, he's stabbed, sliced, shot, electrocuted, blown to pieces, and thrown off cliffs into ravines, only to re-emerge, whole and healthy, a short time later, still compelled to catch this impossible bird. It's a Sisyphean narrative, the animated equivalent of the ancient Greek king Sisyphus, who, upon dying, was condemned to a permanent loop in Hades, where he would roll a heavy boulder up a steep hill, only to see it roll to the bottom and be forced to start all over again. Emaciated, cursed with a raging appetite that he can't quell, Wile Coyote is killed over and over and over again, only to return hell-bent on pursuing his prey. Never dying, never resting. Tell me that's not living in hell. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can check out some more of our recent videos here. Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from What Culture, and I'll see you soon.